Polygon 2.0 is arguably one of the most ambitious experiments in the Layer 2 space. Polygon's upgrade from MATIC to Pol is happening, and if all goes to plan, could pave the way for Polygon to become the gold standard for Layer 2 architecture. In this video, I sit down with Sandeep Nailwal, one of Polygon's founders. We unpack Polygon's core technology and compare it to, in Sandeep's words, some other industry heavyweights. Sandeep candidly looks back at some past mistakes and what he, as a founder, needs to fix for Polygon. So, if you want to know where MATIC is headed next, what Sandeep is personally bullish on, and why Polygon is, in his words, like where Ethereum was in 2015, then this is a video that you don't want to miss. Polygon 2.0, we've got kind of ZK EVMs as well, DeFi on Polygon. So where are your main areas of focus right now? What are the things that are getting you most excited for the Polygon network?
Yes, so at Polygon, we have our legacy chains, Polygon POS, Polygon ZK EVM, which cater to gaming and DeFi and all that, and which are like Polygon is like generally one of the biggest protocol in that space. And, we have a lot of protocols. Like this month itself, I think there are 33, 34 protocols, DeFi protocols are launching on Polygon ZK EVM. Whereas like gaming, as many people know that gaming, Polygon is like the most leading protocol by far, like probably an order of magnitude than the second one. And especially with immutable, also getting into the Polygon ecosystem. So those things are already there, but in terms of the focus, we are also growing the Polygon CDK team. CDK is like chain development kit, with which people can launch their own chains. Like you have like right now Manta Network, which is doing really, really good. Like they have $600 million on their TVL. Then you have ZK Fair was one chain that actually launched, was doing very good. Immutable is like, getting a lot of attention currently in terms of gaming. We announced with OKX, the X1 chain. Yeah. And these many chains are coming in. And then as Polygon, like we are giving them the limelight, like, okay, because they are launching the chains and then builders can build on top of those chains. So, there is a more push on enabling these chains to, grow the ecosystem further. But then we still have like our public chains, any applications which want to launch on a public chain, which is like where like you have a large number of shared applications, composability and all that, they'll keep launching on these chains.
So you're giving them the components to go forward and grow the ecosystem. Because I have to admit, the Layer 2 ecosystem right now and the market and landscape is very competitive.
Yeah.
So how is Polygon really ensuring that you guys are, staying ahead, front-running competition?
I think like, on the Layer 2, even though there is a lot of competition, but I think everybody is working towards the same vision of like, this creating this. I think like Vitalik also posted this, make Ethereum Cypherpunk again, and Cypherpunk again. And I think the main theme there is that you provide the means, and then the people will adopt the technology. We believe in terms of like competition, what we believe is that we are doing zero knowledge technology, right? And we are like generally now widely considered the best zero knowledge in terms of technology and research company alongside like, other heavyweight like Starkware and others. So we think that the key differentiator is the technology. But I also say that on the Layer 1, everybody is trying to do the same thing. And it's about like in a very long enough time frame, we all are actually trying to achieve the same thing, that, provide that means for the builders to build their application, scale the way they want. Right now, of course, on Layer 2s, there is fragmentation also. We keep hearing about this, that, on the Layer 2s, the experience, people have to bridge and all that. But I think like these are all growing pains, the transitioning pains. There is enough technology that is being built under the hood that, this bridging and all that stuff will almost like a click of a button for the end users. Like they'll click and then, next thing they see that wherever they want to move, and the applications will gamify all of these things. So I think this will be solved over this year, and yeah, that's where we see. I definitely big believer of this Ethereum as a settlement layer, and then various different kinds of execution environments on top of it, with where that developers are going to deploy their applications, and users can use like different like if you have an application which has 1 million users, right? And per day, let's say, no matter which chain you are on, which is a shared chain, right? You are going to consume enough resources that your gas fees will go either too high, or you will start congesting the network to everyone else, or somebody else has a breakout day on a particular day and your application is suffering on that day. So I don't see a scenario where any successful enough application will be living on a shared chain. They will all be launching mostly on their own application chain.
And you'll never guess who is in the car.
Hello and welcome back to GM Crypto. Now we have so much fun and exciting stuff coming up for you on today's show. But first, we need to talk about the Coin Bureau deals page, Guy.
That's right, Jessica, because it really is the place to find the very best deals in crypto.
For starters, you can find bonuses of up to $40,000 at some of the best crypto exchanges.
And that's not all, Jessica, because you can also get discounts on hardware wallets, sign-up bonuses for some of the top exchanges, and trading fee discounts of up to 60%.
Amazing, Guy. Where can people find this deals page?
Well, just head on over to coinbureau.com/deals or use the link in the description.
And you mentioned Vitalik's blog post there as well. So what was your thoughts when that came out, and how does that align with Polygon's ethos?
I think we definitely, I and Vitalik, during ETH India also we were talking, and we, keep discussing that this, because in Ethereum ecosystem, Ethereum alignment is a very important topic. And many times projects end up choosing the path which makes them more Ethereum aligned, more theoretically correct, instead of catering to the users. And I think that's one thing that we should Ethereum or the layer 2 ecosystem specifically should look at, that cater to users more, try to build more user friendly applications. But of course, there has to be, you need to have a what should I say, the North Star is that, you want to build the technically correct solution. If you see Polygon POS, actually the chain, when we launched in 2020, it was not the most technically correct solution, but it was there something that works. It didn't derive full security from Ethereum, but it has reasonable security, reasonable gas fees, and users using that. Then we moved into the ZK kind of technology and all that. In our current ZK EVM that we launched, we actually, we have we have had a lot of discussions internally that we took some decisions, architecture decisions, which are to be more theoretically and correct in terms of the Ethereum community, instead of being correct towards the user. And I think we need to kind of strike that balance. We were on this side, now at this side, we need to be in the balance where you do the thing which is secure, because people are trusting Polygon chains for having billions of dollars of their liquidity and money over there. But then also make sure that the user experience is always a very high priority, if not the highest priority. Security is the highest priority, but user experience is also up there at the top. So yeah, so I think the blog post from Vitalik was a very good reminder for everyone, is that we are not building one single kind of system here. It's about building that environment rather than the platform, building the environment where all these toolings which are required to build this new trustless internet, like Web3 and trustless internet, those environmental elements are there, so that people can actually build on top of it. And I think we fully imbibe and agree with that value.
And you spoke to Vitalik at ETH India. What about a Dencun upgrade? What does that mean for Polygon?
The you mean the 4844 upgrade? Yeah. So 4844 upgrade is important for all the rollups, because all these the rollups, there are two kinds of layer 2s. We consider Validiums also as layer 2s because they are deriving from Ethereum security. But there can be a debate on whether Validiums could be called layer 2s. Okay, they are layer 2.5. I don't want to get into the semantics, but there are rollups and Validiums. But rollups are basically the chains which put their data as well as the proofs on Ethereum. But posting data on Ethereum is very costly. So this 4844 actually is coming up with Ethereum. They will provide an external space apart from the block space where you can post the data, which makes layer 2s cheaper, like especially the layer 2 rollups cheaper. So that's definitely good for all the layer 2s, layer 2 rollups, especially like Polygon ZK EVM is also a rollup, so gas fees will become super more affordable and all that. However, I also feel that with all this, influx of inscriptions and all that, I think a lot of other different kind of use cases will start consuming that bandwidth of 4844, and it will not be as like cost effective it will be still huge cost effectiveness, but people are expecting 10x cost reduction. I am like less, I am a little bit skeptical that it will bring in 10x cost reduction. It will definitely bring from 2 to 5x cost reduction. And that's why, we still strongly believe in the ZK validiums, where you keep the data elsewhere and you put the ZK proofs. Because with the ZK, the biggest benefit is that you are not relying on a socio-economic security. Optimistic rollups rely on socio-economic security. ZK relies on mathematical security, cryptographical security. So the sequencers cannot steal money and all that, even if the data is somewhere else. All you need the data is for exits. So there are very corner kind of, extremely rare kind of attack vectors which would be there, like ransom attack and all that. Even then, it's not like users lose all of their money and all that. That's just not possible. So that's why even though 4844 is coming, it's really good for the rollups. But I think as a layer 2 ecosystem, especially with ZK, the design space is already there for providing even lower gas fees transactions.
And we have a lot of MATIC holders that are Coin Bureau fans, audience members, and they are very curious to know kind of MATIC and the migration to Pol, what the roadmap is and what it means for the MATIC holders out there.
Yeah, so the roadmap is very clear. Like the MATIC, we were originally called MATIC Network, right? Like in 2017-18 when we started. In 2020, we rebranded to Polygon. Why? Because previously MATIC was a single blockchain ecosystem, and we wanted to always go into this multi-chain environment, because that's where we saw that if we want to scale the Web3 to a planetary level, where this becomes the protocol, if you want to build the protocol where all the people are building their applications, needs to be multi-chain. And that's why the name Polygon, it's like multifaceted, multi-chain, multi-VM, multi-validator profile, privacy profile, all those things. That's why we rebranded to Polygon, but we also had to migrate our token, which is the MATIC network token, MATIC token, to Pol token. And because that reflects like this is the old token, so this upgrade is happening this year. We already, like, the Pol token is already live and all that. The validators are getting will get their rewards and Pol tokens and all that. But for the average individual, for everyone who to migrate their tokens from MATIC to Pol, we will announce a proper guideline roadmap and all that, where people will be able to migrate. And this is not like a new token. This is just a migration, not even migration. This is like a technical upgrade actually of the same token, because MATIC token is an immutable token, right? If you could actually go and just change the name and all those things, it'll be much easier to not have a change over there. But because it's immutable, it cannot be changed. The token cannot be changed. So it has to be a technical upgrade where users will, on their own will, they can upgrade to the Pol token. And this new Pol token is actually, why it is relevant is that is like fully built to be a multi-chain token, right? So the token economics and everything that is built there is a 1% inflation added per year, which is used to incentivize the validators to keep validating and provide security into the system. And then it also has the ecosystem treasury 1%, which could be used to grow the ecosystem heavily, because all the, as you said, competitor protocols, they are all freshly new tokens and all that, and they have large ecosystem treasuries and all that, so that Polygon remains competitive over the years also. And so that's also one thing. And then this Pol is basically, with our restaking mechanism that is coming up, this Pol becomes, as we say, third generation hyperproductive token, right? When we say hyperproductive token, Bitcoin, as a Bitcoin holder, you cannot participate in Bitcoin's validation and security system, right? You have to run physical miners. But in case of, let's say, Ethereum, now especially with proof of stake, if you hold Ethereum, you can use that Ethereum to stake in the Ethereum security and provide provide security to Ethereum. So you can technically participate in the network. In case of Pol, you will be able to participate in the network, but why we call it hyper-productive token is you don't only participate in running the chain, but you can participate in running multiple chains actually because of the multi-chain environment. You can also participate, use the same token to provide maybe data availability services to some chains or provide proving services and different kind of things that you can do with that token. So that's why we call it like a hyper-productive token. Bitcoin started with that, with no utility, no utility into the network.
Yeah.
Then Ethereum with stake earn yield. This one you not only earn the base amount of yield, but you can also earn from the transaction fees across the chain by providing different kind of services.
And I'm curious to hear your thoughts as well when it comes to MATIC and it's close to reaching maximum supply, what this means for MATIC moving forward and the kind of the ecosystem as a whole.
So the maximum supply, I think MATIC is already at the maximum supply. Like we are this is like in crypto markets always like the new tokens, like because they have low float and those things like those are like more financial markets things. But like good part is like MATIC is like a very mature utility token in that sense. It's live for last 5 years. It has 90% of its supply already there in the market. So which makes it like more and more less susceptible to manipulations and all that, whereas like you have tokens which are only 10% live, 90%, and they have like huge supply shocks coming in and manipulations involved, whereas like MATIC is like a large scale token. There are not like many manipulations possible over there. So I think that's a good thing, and it should be like the same for most of the protocol. Like I think in the OG days of crypto, whenever then there was a new token, I'm not sure, like even for Ethereum, I don't think there was any vesting period. Like these tokens were unlocked on day 0, and then the communities form around and people who are the holders or the long-term believers. Ideally, that's the ideal state or that's the end state for any asset whatsoever. So I'm very happy that because of this Polygon's 5-year journey, it's already at a place. And this is when I feel that the real Polygon technology is just getting born. The real Polygon is just getting born. And like it almost, like for me, like I compare it with like where Ethereum was in 2015, let's say, when it was just getting started. This token supply was out there. Some people believed in the technology, maybe a small number, but they believe in the technology. The base version was there. A lot of things had to be done on top of it. Same thing as I think with MATIC is there. Like token is pretty mature already. And then now the full technology roadmap is materializing. It's coming out. I think we are in for a good ride for that.
A wild ride. So Polygon, the real Polygon, is just being born, as you said. So what kind of narratives are going to come out from this? Maybe they're already here, but this is just kind of acceleration level.
I think one of the on the narrative side, like I myself, and then recently, like some people posted on Twitter also, that like because parallel VMs, like Polygon also has parallel VM, so we talked about it. People are like, oh, now parallel VM, Polygon is talking about parallel VM, previously layer 2 ZK. The thing is that Polygon in the last 2 years has been like 300 to 400 500 people team, and we are working on so many things because our end game is to reach the place or reach the infrastructure which can actually play an important role in creating this trustless interplanetary ecosystem, right? And I think because of that, we have so many things to talk about. But the problem is that, like in terms of branding, and we have done a bad job at that we have had like multiple different things. Like, okay, first month, people are talking about like brands launching on this, and then people are talking about games, and then people are talking about DeFi, people are talking about ZK. So it keeps on moving. And I think the one thing that we need to definitely solve for Polygon is basically this piece where we need to have like one clear, succinct story of Polygon, which is like the high level story. Everything else are the sub narratives. This is what we need to fix for Polygon, I think, this year, and I agree with that. Like, but in terms of the narrative, like there will be no, like in terms of like from our side, like there will be no separate narrative we need. Like we are like Polygon is top 3 in DeFi, top 3 in NFTs, rank 1 in brands, I think rank 1 except only Ethereum in RWA, real world assets. In the app chains already it's like in the top 2.
And I did see the Twitter kind of narrative coming up there. So you've answered that question very well, which is that you're focusing on so many things. But as one of the founders, I have to ask you, if you have to put one on top.
This is
which one would it be?
I think this has to be the, but next year, like Polygon is, once the Polygon, as I said, Polygon is being born, this is basically, people will be able to realize that this is a infinite TPS, ever growing infinite TPS blockchain network, which provides with those multi-chain environment, which also provides interconnectivity. But as a simple story, it is like an infinite TPS network, right? Because this community likes TPS, right? But if you go inside that, you will realize that, okay, how do you do this infinite TPS? That by having hundreds and hundreds of chains. But then, okay, how do you solve for interconnectivity, interoperability between these chains? That is the aggregator layer. And then what are the benefits of a multi-chain ecosystem? The benefits are that you can have different kinds of VMs.
Yeah.
We keep talking about virtual machines, you have EVM, but we are people know about Maiden blockchain. People know Near Protocol is working with us on launching a ZK WASM. So you can have WASM VM. There are multiple others, big products that are being worked in the Polygon ecosystem. So that's there in terms of the virtual machine. Then application, or these chains can have different decentralization profiles. Some chains might have 100 validators. Some chains might have a single sequencer. It's up to, but all of them are all secured by ZK. The decentralization just offers you censorship resistance, but otherwise users have same level of security everywhere. And all we need to enable is the fast interoperability. So the V1 that will launch, it will have so slow interoperability.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next version, V2 of that, interoperability layer launches. We call it aggregation layer. The aggregation layer launches. It makes the chains very fast interoperable. So that is the narrative, infinite TPS, ever growing blockchain network. That's all is the core level thing. Everything comes as a sub narrative to that.
And as of today, this is the first week of January 2024. So first big interview for Coin Bureau for the year. Thank you very much for that. What are some of the standout projects that are building on Polygon as of this week for you? Because I know it's impossible to pick over the years, but
there are 50,000 projects on Polygon.
What comes to your mind today?
But basically, I think if you see gaming, we have Gas Hero is doing really well right now. My Pet Hooligans and Midnight Society. There are so many like that. I think even Shrapnel, they have a big product deployment on Polygon and things like that. So they are there. Then and there are multiple such projects. And then in DeFi this month we have around 35 DeFi protocols launching on ZK EVM. But I think for me the highlight of the year is the chains that are launching. Manta Network is doing really great. Similarly, OKX X1 chain comes in soon. Similarly, you have Immutable, absolutely the juggernaut in gaming in the making. We also have IDEX, exchanges launching, a completely self-custodial exchanges with the centralized exchange kind of experience, but still self-custodial for the users. So many these things, but I think the CDK chains is the highlight for me.
What is your outlook for the wider crypto industry for this year?
Yeah, I think 2024 might be a year, but I definitely feel that this is 200%. This is the second last year where blockchain scaling is still the biggest problem. But with a high degree of certainty, I think I can say more than 50% chance that this year we say that blockchain scalability is truly solved. And from there, it's all about few big games or applications going really mainstream. And crypto will start getting that respect from the mainstream. That's what I believe. It will become a mainstream technology. After that, once it becomes a mainstream technology, there'll be a mania cycle. But after that, people realize that, okay, this is just one computation technology. Right now, we have cloud computing and other kind of like server systems which are trustful computing. This is trustless computing. People will build applications which will have aspects of both in them, and I think that's where especially where the value is involved, where there is trust is involved in doing any kind of computation, where there you need trustless compute. But everywhere else you don't need, like if you are doing a a chat application, you don't need every small and even the most stupidest of chats to be saved in a blockchain, right? Like forever. All you need is, especially when there's a value involved or there is something where a history or auditability of something is important, or you need a trustless compute on some particular smart contracts. There you will use this trustless computation technology. Otherwise, you will just simply use the Web2 technology. And I hope that with this 24 to 28 4-year cycle, or 24 to 26 actually, this cycle, maybe 2 to 3 4-year cycle, crypto becomes a mainstream mature technology. And beyond that, it is not considered a technology to just speculate on, but it rather becomes a mainstream technology which is just meaningfully used across the verticals.
Well, that's all for today's video. My thanks to Sandeep for taking the time to talk with me. If you learned something new, then let us know by smashing that like button. If you want to keep learning, then subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. And if you want to help others learn, then take a second to share this video with them. If you were inspired by Sandeep to start your investing journey, then check out the Coinbureau Deals page. It's got trading fee discounts of up to 60% and bonuses of up to $40,000 on some of the best crypto exchanges, and the biggest discounts on hardware wallets. The link will be down in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Jessica, signing off.